It is great to see you all again at Wealthy Coins. This leak has officially validated the Shiba Inu bull run. Today's SHIB news. While the Shiba Inu community is understandably delighted with SHIB's January performance, a feeling of market uncertainty has resurfaced as the month draws to a close. However, as we near the end of the month, the market is once again filled with uncertainty, particularly in relation to its performance in February. The portfolios of Shiba Inu holders are anticipated to be most affected by the forthcoming FOMC meeting. Shiba Inu holders can have a better grasp of how the FOMC meeting impacts their portfolio by having a solid grasp of what the meeting entails. The modification of the federal fund rate is a major highlight of the meetings, which take place every 3 weeks. Banks borrow money from the Federal Reserve at this rate. Here in this video we'll go over the details of the Shiba Inu bull run that this leak has confirmed. Presenting today's SHIB news. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, subscribe to the channel and give it a big thumbs up. We will start the video without further ado. In order to maintain economic stability, the Federal Reserve employs the federal fund rate. Borrowing money becomes more affordable at a lower rate, which facilitates investment by making liquidity more accessible. A higher rate, however, makes borrowing money less attractive and reduces investment. In 2022, the Federal Reserve's quantitative tightening efforts aimed at reducing inflation included a generally rising federal fund rate. A positive surge was felt by Shiba Inu and the market as a whole following the most recent FOMC meeting. Reason being, last month the Fed announced a 0.75 percentage point hike to interest rates, but this month they only announced a 0.5% increase, or 50 basis points. The market saw the Fed's decision to reduce the FFR as an indication that they were easing off on their aggressive rate hike plans. Along with this came news that the Fed's fight against inflation was successful. The Federal Open Market Committee (FOMC) is expected to meet again between January 31st and February 1st. The Federal Reserve is rumored to be planning a 25 basis point increase to the FFR. If this is accurate, it might lend credence to positive sentiment, which might lead to fresh buying pressure for SHIB. If this were to happen, it would break through the $0.000123 level of resistance that has been there for the past many days. Shiba Inu investors should brace themselves for a price increase of up to 14% to the next Fibonacci resistance line if a rally is in the cards. Shiba Inu prices can fall again if the rate increase is much bigger than that. In the event of a 10% or larger correction, it will likely return to levels near or below its 200-day moving average. The market may respond in advance of the official release of the FOMC minutes on occasion. Some have hypothesized that this is due to the fact that those in influential positions are aware of the Federal Reserve's rate decision prior to its official announcement. Therefore, certain market players may get preferential treatment, enabling them to respond appropriately. Shiba Inu's weighted sentiment meter did show a small increase over the past 2 days, which is rather interesting. If this holds, it might mean that market optimism is on the mend. In light of the current consensus that a 25 basis point increase is likely, this does not prove that investors predict another jump. While price volatility has been trending downward for the past several days, it appears that another spike is imminent. This is due to the fact that this week's trading activity could be influenced by the FOMC data. Similarly, the results of exchange flows are striking. While supply outside of exchanges has been steadily rising, it has fallen sharply on exchanges in recent days. A bearish pivot might yet happen at any moment, particularly if the FOMC opts for a more substantial rate hike than expected. Now that the official numbers are out, the directional momentum is likely to pick up. The following trend presents chances for short-term returns for SHIB traders and investors. Over the past week, Benzinga evaluated the future of a number of stocks that investors favored. The tech-heavy Nasdaq led the markets higher this week, continuing the positive atmosphere that began 2023 on Wall Street. The Nasdaq ended the week 4.32% higher, the S&P 500 2.47% higher, and the Dow Industrials 1.81% higher. Economists had predicted a 2.6% increase in fourth-quarter GDP, but the Commerce Department announced a 2.9% increase on Thursday. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index increased by 5% in December according to Friday's BOS report. This was lower than the 5.5% advance in November and lower than the 5.5% gain that economists had predicted. Two popular meme cryptocurrencies are SHIB and Doge. The Shiba Inu project includes the Ethereum-based coin SHIB. The digital currency Doge, on the other hand, has grown a sizable user base since its 2013 inception as a joke. Both should be viewed as investments with a high level of risk due to their extremely volatile prices. For a long time, Dogecoin was the only meme coin that people knew about. As a result of speculative investments and sudden market declines, we frequently witness enormous rallies. In 2020, the Shiba Inu coin entered the market as a rival. The idea is that this is a spoof of Dogecoin. Compared to Dogecoin, Shiba Inu has fared better during this period. This is understandable given that the initiative is in its infancy. The risk outweighs the potential reward in this case. Shiba Inu might have also failed or had very little price gains, just as other meme coins. Compared to Dogecoin, the risk with the Shiba Inu coin in 2023 is higher, but the payout might be even higher. Dogecoin might be better off with the Shiba Inu since meme coins are so dangerous to invest in. According to a senior executive at Cyber Capital, 3 of the most decentralized digital assets now available are Dogecoin, Doge, and Shiba Inu, all of which are meme tokens with a doc theme. The company's chief investment officer Justin Bonds informs his Twitter followers that Doge and SHIB are 2 of the 32 supposedly decentralized cryptocurrencies among the top 50. There are only 32 truly decentralized cryptocurrencies out of the 50 most popular ones. We can put a finger on decentralization and say yes or no, even though it's on a continuum. Remember that in reality things could be different from how they appear on paper. After a strong start to the new year, the price of Shiba Inus is beginning to cool down. The digital doc coin has increased in value by 60% since January 1st, giving the Shiba Inu price a new narrative all its own. If you believe whale stats, the top Ethereum whale's usage of Shiba Inu smart contracts and tokens is unparalleled. As the Shiba Inu beta has been announced, there has been much conjecture around the Shiba Inu. The chief developer of Shiba Inus, Shytoshi Kusama, has dropped hints that Valentine's Day, February 14, will be the premiere date of Shiba Inu. Despite buying Shiba Inus in the midst of the Shiba Inu debut, whales are selling SHIB until December. In the last day, the top Ethereum whales have bought more Shiba Inu smart contracts than any other. With a 2% increase over the past 24 hours, the current price of SHIB is $0.00001204. Shiba Inu still has a shot for a much greater peak in the months to come. Shiba Inu could see a surge in popularity after the release of Shiba Inu. Higher speed, more scalability, and reduced transaction costs are just a few of the exciting new features of the next Layer 2 blockchains. Additionally, Shiba Inu may allow for the burning of billions of tokens. Like any other product, cryptocurrency is subject to the rules of supply and demand. An increase in price is possible if demand remains constant and the supply of SHIB tokens is drastically reduced. People are still interested in SHIB since it was the 3rd most viewed cryptocurrency last year according to Finbold. Binance meanwhile has been mum on the matter of the coin's removal. It has been suggested that Shiba's low liquidity could be the cause. Still, there's a lot more cause for concern for Binance. The exchange's